Day for daytime art on the 999 ASMR Tarot show. I'm Random Chatty Guy, your guide through simple painting things. We're just going to get busy here. I'm going to paint some flowers just as a warm-up. I already did a pre-warm-up. So this is the show warm-up, and then we will be moving on. I need a different brush. I'm going to do what first? I guess we can use this one. Some blue. Maybe some flowers. Maybe we'll run them, get this stuff to run a little bit more like watercolors. So we do that. Just add more. Add more water to it, and acrylics will run like watercolors. I do need a brush where I can get some more control here. And I have just that brush if I'm making this stuff act like watercolor, because this is my only watercolor brush I possess. Now, are we on camera here? Yeah, we're on camera. Alright, so I think I want to do like a red flower over here. We'll add some white to it to tone it down. Painting the day away. It's like the days of our life, you know. I think there was a soap opera called The Days of Our Life. But this is not that. It's the art of our life. It's nothing too complicated. Just some simple flowers. Simple flowers on the page. Let that water run, paint run thin like watercolors. I also have these watercolor pencils that I'll be using to, as far as to get some, put some highlights in. A lot more water over here so that and we'll just do a background. What I probably will do is shift to a second piece, and we're going to kind of go for production today. How many, essentially what I'm doing is card art. These are cards. This is one that I did a few days ago, like this. And some of them that I usually do, and this is like my signature style of art cards. I sell these at an art fair, and there's a store that sells my art, and locally too. So Oh, hello. Hello, Tango X1. Hello, AYA. Welcome to Days of Our Art. Yeah. So that's what we're doing here. I need some green, so I'm going to mix down some green here out of this, out of primaries. So blue and yellow makes green. Maybe we'll add just a little bit of white to it to tone it down. And so we got here. Can you see this down here on the bottom? Or do I need to adjust the camera a bit more? So I think what I'm going to do this is like two-tone here. I'm going to come in and we'll come in with a bit of yellow here and add to it. Kind of makes it more translucent for its leaves. Thank you for finding this cool. I guess we'll just make it over the top like that. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect because it's, after all, there's not too much perfection out there in the natural world. Now we got a nice stem here. Maybe a little bit more. But so what we're going to do is going to move on to, I'm going to come back to this one soon. All right, what we're going to do now, I'm going to change to a forest scene. We need some sky. Coming over here and get some sky. It just doesn't need to be, it doesn't have to be anything exact in here. Just a little bit of color in the sky. Maybe a little red. Come down here, a little red. Come over here with a bit more white. So maybe what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a couple of these here. So we're doing for production to see how many of these I can do here. This one's a bit more red. Synergy. You can move fast. A little blue. Of course, you've never seen a sky like this, but it doesn't matter, does it? Does it really matter that much that you've never really seen a sky like this? I'm going to bring it down here just a little bit. A little bit of color coming down here. That's kind of cool. Just kind of faint back in the background. In with this. More of the white. This is bringing in the white over here. Kind of makes this really a light blue. All right. we are doing, just gonna do some brown. You can kind of imagine just the expansiveness of coming up over hill, and you just see a stand of trees. That's kind of what we're going through for here. I think I just need a little bit more black in this. Ordinarily, if I wasn't doing this on camera, I would be listening to some music right now. Either some expansive ambient music or some shoegaze or some dream pop. Dream pop is like one of my favorite painting music to listen to. But you know what I have in the background is birds chirping. If you listen really carefully, you can hear them. A little red in this too. Gotta make this faint in the background. It doesn't have to be, this isn't really fancy. It's just the hints of something that is important. Hinting that there's something there. Some trees in the background. Happy trees. Very light. Lightly in the background. Over here. Starting with it, but maybe we get another one that's kind of tall, or no, I think we just want some other ones over here that are just way far away. They're just hints that they're there. Way far away. Just really, really far away. I need some green. I do have green, that's right, I made green over here. We're going to come in and take this green, we're going to mix it with some brown. Make it kind of more like how a fir tree might look right now. So in the background here, we come in, and you see that? Kind of stippling back here. And this is just making trees. And the far, far away trees. Maybe this one I'll just add a little red to it. Sometimes trees are kind of red. There is an evergreen tree that is this color. And now I'm going to come up and do some more greener. Of course, you wouldn't exactly see this color of green in nature. But see how quick and easy it is to make a tree? And see how they look. They're just way back there in the distance. You can't quite see the trunks here. but you can imagine that they're there. And when we bring in some grasses or something into the foreground, it's going to just look like you're just walking right up to it. And that's really kind of the effect that we're looking for here. Let's go back over here, and we're going to do some of these ones in the distance. Different colors, it's okay. Don't have to be perfect. Trees and nature often aren't, they don't look perfect. And actually, trees in nature don't look anything like this. In nature, for evergreen trees, the branches go up. The branches in evergreen trees are like this direction. And it looks like it's this way in the distance, but it's really that way if you're looking at it in up really close. Coming over here. You don't have to be, too fancy here. I'm not exactly a Rembrandt. It's rather kindergarten-ish art. Now, if you want to, there are other ways we can do this. So you can take a brush like this. This used to be a fan brush, but I cut the fans off of it here. And we'll be using that. Not yet. I'm going to do that on a tree in the foreground, but I can, you can demonstrate what we can do here is you bring in, and we're making it some grass. See that down here? Using it to stipple on the edge, and so we get that look that we're coming down. In the foreground. Just kind of adds a little bit of depth to it. Not too much depth, but just a little bit, because, this is what it is. And we'll come in some more of this brown here. Kind of bringing it in here. We're going to add in a lot more of this yellow. Tone down brown. I have a hard time on the backstroke doing this. I can do it one way, but I can't quite do it the other way. It's hopefully someday I'll be able to do it, but what I'm trying to avoid is getting a lot of gloopiness here. Just kind of a light stroke coming here. And see how nice that looks. I'll come over here and use it this way. Make some nice trees there. Off in the distance. And make that one a little more browner. And we'll do another one with let's go make it more greener. Bring in some more yellow. We could actually take some titanium white and bring it into it too. Maybe we need some highlights on it. Take this yellow. We'll make some highlights. Some different kind of highlights. We'll just bring it down, fill it in. Happy trees. And see, this is a place that's actually in my imagination. I've actually hiked in areas where I live that look exactly like this. There's a round, flat hill not too far away from where I live, and when you go up to the top of it, it's flat on the top, and it just looks like this up there. It's been logged several times, and the last time I was up there was in 2015 when I was working for a land surveyor, and he worked for, did surveying for private landowners. He's dead now. He was one of my classmates from high school. He passed away in 2018. This week. I used to hang out with him when I was like a junior and senior in high school. And his mother used to date my father a long time ago, for a short time. That's something I found out at my father's funeral 12 years ago. Not that you care, but we're gonna add in just a bit more foliage here, coming up there in the foreground. A little more of this yellow. And so there it is. It's just simple. And we'll fold it over like this, and there it goes. But we need some birds, though. But we're going to come back to this one in just a few minutes, and we're going to go back to this one and fill in the sky. Maybe we'll set some of these in here to make sure that those brushes don't dry out too much. I have a few brushes here. We need to clean them off. I forgot to wash them one time, and they just got really stiff. Okay, I will use, where did I put the watercolor brush at? Oh, here it is. There. I'm going to use this to build the sky. I want to just do a lot of different colors here. Let's add some white to it. And kind of a blotchiness. Just a little bit too blotchy. But I like these effects, I'm going to add some more white to it. It just brings this different energy to it. When you stipple, I think that's the word for it, stippling. Granted, no sky looks like this in nature, but this isn't supposed to be about that. You're building something that's from your imagination and your version of reality. If you were doing this right, you would do the sky first. But it actually, I don't know. I sometimes like doing the sky second because you have to be careful dancing in and around your the petals of the flower. But you're just adding this energy into it, like a transition from one place to another. Maybe a little of this red over it here too, because it gets more of this purpley color. This is a lot of energy in the sky. Maybe it's kind of like looking at the sky when you have a migraine headache. No more white. Kind of coming down like this. And then we'll go back and use some watercolor pencils and kind of bring out bring the foreground out a little bit more. This isn't exactly the right kind of brush to do this, but you know, as you can see, it makes some really interesting color effects. You know, which reminds me of like bird tracks on the ground, bird feet. Kind of very lightly move it in there, in there, and there. And so if we are going to do this. These are, you're combining, do I have a green? I don't remember. I don't think I do have a green. Oh, I do. This color right here is green. And I need my shaver, pencil shaver. Just put that over here. Kind of coming up here. Kind of bringing that edge in. But I'm going to put more of the sky in place first. Kind of textures things out. these, that combination between acrylics and watercolor. Let's go back to the sky. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Isn't that like a Jimi Hendrix song? It is. That would be on my, if I could have that music on without having to, like get copyright strikes and everything else, I would want to have maybe some Pink Floyd on now. Some Jimi Hendrix, coming up to the 4th of July, and we got the Jimi Hendrix playing Star Spangled Banner on his guitar. Maybe play some Black Sabbath or something. Nah, I'm actually not in a Black Sabbath mood. I do like Black Sabbath, though. I haven't listened to that band in a long time. Lots of anti-war. Actually, this just puts a different kind of an energy here. Kind of two different energy zones there, but I need a different brush to do in here, in that spot, something more square, or maybe this one here. That's the same brush, just a smaller space. I don't know if I want a green sky. I don't think I want a green sky. It's gonna come out green. So I'm just gonna go grab a different brush altogether just to make sure I'm not gonna have a green sky in here. I think we'll use this one. Might be a little bit more control here. A lot of water. I'm going to come in there. I want more white in it, so I can contrast between the leaves of the petals of the flower, and so a little red in there. I don't really use that much red. I put some down on the palette, and it turns out to be a big waste of color. Maybe we'll come from here and pull it out. Maybe it's like a different flower or something in the background. I think I just might leave that empty spot there. How does that look? Got a bunch of different energy there. It's a starburst of color, but it's not necessarily connected to anything. It's fine. I'm not sure about this. Let's come over here. Filling in the gaps Okay. All right, now I'm gonna go back and do what I said I was doing, and I'm getting kind of thirsty. Is anyone else thirsty? I need the shaver again. And let's go in and take a red and a blue, purple, and I want there. It's this one over here. It's like a neon blue. I'm gonna take these colors and do some highlights here. I'm going over to maybe a little bit of this. Just brings in some extra textures. Over here, it's not showing up there, so we're going to come in with this purple and do that over here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new here and you like what you see. How's that look? Does that look any better? Interesting skies. I feel like I need to dry brush it. Just kind of come through here. Just kind of maybe even out the colors. Like a lot of energy here. I think it's done. Pen. The last thing you do is you sign it. There we go. It's done. Done enough anyways. I'll come up over here to this one. And I'm going to sign. But what we're going to add to this in some texturing is some birds flying in the distance. I use a like a pin for that, just to, because it's just a control factor. I don't have the fine motor control necessary for doing this with a paintbrush. I've done it many times, so just a few here and there in the way distance, and Maybe we got a couple over here just flying in from another part of the world, flying high in the sky. Off in the distance, happy birds coming in. Maybe a few more here too. A little closer to this tree. And maybe one's over here. It adds just a little bit of a depth to it. But you know, we can also do is come and bring some grasses here. That's the beauty of these watercolor pencils, is you can just add some highlights onto your into your paintings, and see, we're painting really small here. It's not like you're doing a large painting, but when I go to move to do large paintings, I got to do a lot of practice first, because it's I paint small all the time, and so it's difficult going from small to large. And some grasses or some other shrubs. It doesn't really, I don't really know what they are. It doesn't really matter. You're just filling in. That's what we're doing here, just filling in. And so this one's done too. Just as simple as that. I'm going to go move on to another one here. Maybe before things get cold, I'm going to pour myself out a Coke Zero. This is not brought to you by Coke Zero. I'm not sponsored by anyone. But I like Coke Zero. I know I'm not supposed to drink it, but I do like a 12-pack a month. And nice, calm, cool glass of Coke Zero. Let's fill that up. Okay. I'm going to come back in here, and we going to use no, we're not going to use the pencils yet. I'm going to do some more okay. Somebody's calling me. No, I can't do a phone call now. What was I gonna do? This tree's leaning. That's fine, we'll just do a large tree. Need some more water on here. Maybe add some more yellow. Kind of bring it up here. nice and quiet. This would definitely make a great sleep aid. Right now is about the time you might be falling asleep if you watch this at night. This is going to be like an old snag or something different. Maybe one of those trees that would be good to have a tire swing on. Happy trees. That's what we're doing on this Days of Our Art. The days of our art pass by softly, softly, softly. This one goes up beyond the sky. Maybe it's like one of those trees, you know, that's kind of split. It's got a split trunk. Maybe the tree's not going your way, but you know, that's okay. That's okay because it doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're just building. If you go out and look in the natural world, it doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like it was really planned all that well. It's leaning trees. Actually, I'm going to add some more red to it. This red is all dried up. Kind of making the branches, things branching off, different directions. The roots in the sky. The roots in the sky say hi tonight to you, to me, to everyone. The roots in the sky say hi to that guy over there. That's right, I know. Don't quit your day job to go take up a career singing. More water. We add more water. That's one of the things that to remember. It took me years to remember to do this, to add more water. You add more water and look, it's less gloopy. But there's this tendency to want to have dark lines or heavy lines, but you don't get heavy lines when you add more water to it. But when you add more paint, what you get is gloopy. You get gloopy lines. And sometimes you just get a bunch of frustration too. Nice trees. Well, thank you, Rachel Poe. I'm glad that you like that. I can just show you. It shows you just how fast you can do these things with practice. So one of the things that has taught me how to be fast is that I sell these cards for for like $5 each, and so I don't really want to like spend too much time on them. Nobody likes working for like $2 an hour, do they? Here we go. And we've got some more branches kind of coming off. And there we go. So let's add another tree in the background. Kind of it's going to be really gloopy if I use that one. So this isn't the only tree that's here. Okay. Let's see if I can do this, multitask this. I can't send somebody a text while I'm doing this here. Oh, okay, what I'm doing. We got all distracted by. Now I think I just ruined this painting. Phone ringing and. But that's okay because this is let's just make a bush here. And kind of goes off into the sky. It can be salvaged, right? We can salvage this. Maybe we just have a little, another little stand of trees in the background. I don't like how it's all so gloopy. The gloopiness to the paint, and I want a thinner brush stroke. And kind of off there in the distance. Okay, so maybe over here. Another one over here. So just some trees in the background. Happy trees. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go back to my cut down fan brush over here. And we're going to do some, I think I want some of this color again here. This is yellow and brown. And so with that, we'll go and make some trees in the background. So I think I want one of these just to be pure more yellow. It's off there in the back. I wish the line wasn't so so we can try to salvage this. You know, because sometimes it just doesn't turn out the way you want it to. A little bit of that. It's just a little written out too. It's in the background. And strokes this way. And coming over here. A little more yellow. And as I explained before, that it's the backstroke is oftentimes much harder to do. And then you can come in here and we'll just do some trees like this. They're off there in the background. It's like shrubs. And come up here from below and kind of filling in. Maybe a little bit of straight yellow here. A little red. You see all kinds of colors like this outside in nature. And well, thank you, Sam. Thank you for the praise. Well, I do a lot of different things, Sam. I do yeah, a lot of different things. A lot of yeah. And so I'm gonna go off on and doing the tree here. And so for leaves, I might actually use some different green here. Well, thank you for subbing. I hope that you like. You might check out some of my long play videos because I do a lot of different things. I have a lot of straight, more old school ASMR content. I think one of my last ones that I did was a walk in the snow. A walk in the snow. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I don't think I want that color green. I'm just gonna mix it down here because I don't really want to waste paint. This will be the last painting I do for the day, and so it's really the that blue would have been better for making seascapes. There's my sister just called in on the phone. We want to add some white to it to tone it down. You like painting and supporting painters? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I did, let's see, last week I did paper mache, and I'm going to take the 4th and the 5th off. I usually do a live stream on Friday, on Friday nights, but it's a holiday. Okay, yeah, when I'm done here, you can go to my channel. I have one of my favorite videos. I'm playing with a glass ball, and 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 one of my favorite tarot decks. And I also do poetry on Sundays. So this is like, doing leaves. Yeah. Sunday afternoon poetry. I'm working with using as prompts a new release tarot deck that's really artsy. Um, you know, um, I used to play music when I was younger, and a long time ago, I was in college. I played rhythm guitar in a jazz band, and then for almost 10 years, I sang in a Catholic gospel choir on when I lived in Seattle. Um, and and that was fun. And then I really wanted to sing in a cathedral choir, um, but it was too that I would never have been able to go home for Christmas, and so I never did that. But it would have been, that's as close as I've done to like creating music and so forth is. Um, what about yourself, Sam? Do you create music? Maybe we'll add some red leaves in here. Because as Bob Ross would say, is on Suno. What's Suno mean? What does that mean? Hmm. Oh, you write your own lyrics. I wrote one song. I haven't actually. I do have a recording of one song, um, but I was living in a small apartment in downtown Seattle. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid using as much AI as possible. Though I do have some video poems that I did a year ago that I use AI art generators. I think I have three of those, and come back and get some of the more of the red. So I guess it's a fall time thing, even though we're kind of in the heart of summer right now. Yeah. Though I did ask one of my friends if he could um, create some music for me. Hmm. When I was like thinking music wise, what I was looking for was that like binaural beats or some expansive just something really expansive. of them. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, alright. The other person in the house is done yelling at me, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up, so we want to finish it though. Finish my happy trees. I mean, it's getting close to being done. Not quite though. Well, thank you. Almost done. But I'm gonna put some, some leaves out here and some over here. But you have to be careful not to ruin your paints. Oh, a little pink to it? Okay. I mean, like in here? Or like in on the tree. Okay. I might want to come down and this on the tree, some pink highlights. Should I leave this one blank like this? Yeah, I think I will actually. Pink highlights on the trees. All right. I got a little pink left before Well, thank you, Sam, for your suggestion. I would never have thought to do that. I see what you're talking about. Leaf-wise, it kind of... It actually totally works. Interesting. Well, I try my best. I've only been doing this a few years. I've been writing poetry most of my life. And that's what I have the largest experience with is... Oh, because, you got the sun over there. I probably should be mindful of where the sun is in the sky. I don't want to overdo it because I could easily ruin this by over okay. Some bushes up here that are kind of in this pinky tone. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's it. Some fill in like that. How's that look? I might do some with the paint I have remaining. I might finish this mask. This is my the mask I'm gonna wear when I win the lottery. You know, real soon now. When I've been saying that for the last 30 years. Any day now, I'm gonna win the lottery, and then I live in a state where you have to like show your face, so I'm gonna wear this mask when I win the lottery to go accept my $1 million check. Anyways, I think this is just about done. A few more of these pinky kind of grassy highlights here in the front. Like that. Maybe add a little more of this yellow in there, and it's like you're coming up on it from the distance. So we're gonna I'm gonna sign it over here. And got some birds coming in from the distance, flying in from the south. They see these inviting trees. They want to come in and get some bugs. Maybe over here, a couple coming in over there. If you listen carefully, you can hear the birds right out my window. Thank you, man. Thank you, Sam. And thank you for your support. That means a lot to me. Yeah, so kind of filling out this tree or this bush or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's what it is. And there we have it. Days of our art. So what we did today is we did this one, and then there's this one. So this one's kind of blah, but this one's kind of dynamic, and then this one. And then I'm going to, just with the paint I have left, I'm going to add another layer onto this one here. Hmm. Well, sometimes, you just kind of got to do it rather than get the inspiration to do it. One of the things, Sam, that keeps me producing work. Now, before I just started doing this show, I would do a yearly art fair, and then I would just produce lots of work for that. And then, so like right around like June, July, I'd be painting almost every day, especially after work. I would be doing um, creating like those cards that I do. I do like a dozen of those a day because I'd like to bring like 300 cards with me if I can, and because that's mostly what I sell, and because it's a small town art fair, and maybe you might have yeah, just go do an art fair. Go and then make small items that people can take away with them in their hands, and then you just do a lot of stuff like that rather than large painting. Because everyone I've known that had gone to these art fairs and they bring large items, they don't sell anything at all, and so um, you come with small items, people can walk away with them in their hands, and just bring up another color. Doesn't have to be the same. You can repaint these things over and over again. Just for fun, I did a short that was kind of like a comedy horror story. I just finished. It's just gonna come out this evening because I also do that, Sam, for because I tend to sometimes want to do comedy, and I'll do a comedy short. Oh yeah, yeah. I like baking too. Uh, Biscuits and oh, you mean like are you from EU, Sam? European Union? Because you're so biscuit. You mean like biscuit? Is that like cookies? Well, baking is certainly art. Oh, you're from Spain. Yeah, okay. Well, that's the first thing I learned how to do, Sam, was was how to cook. I started cooking when I was like 7 or 8 years old. Of course, I wasn't making anything fancy at 7 or 8 years old, but yeah, yeah. I like I like making sweet things, but now I have like, oh, okay. As a teen, you're selling your biscuits on the street. Well, that's cool. That you can do that without a license. Here in America, you might get in trouble for doing that, but people would think that you were trying to poison them because people are paranoid here. Oh, I see. Small village. Oh, Spain, huh? That's like almost like the. I have one of my uncles is a immigrant from the Azore Islands, and he and his family. He's 70 something now, but he came to America when he was a single digits, like 9 or 10 or something like that. Yeah, my great grandmother on my dad's side, she immigrated to America in um, I'm going to say like between before the Spanish flu, like 1910, like 100 and like 10 years ago. And yeah, so let's go up a step here. Yeah, but I do have like one strand of American immigrants that. Okay, so you migrated from England. My English migrants to America came in the 1600s. So yeah, take that white over here. Well, keep up the cooking. I mean, cooking is that's that's a lot of fun to do that. Multicolor here. Yeah, just make sure you don't get the diabetes. That is the danger of being because most people that I know, I mean, that really love to cook. They by the time they get to be my age, they are either borderline diabetic or they have the diabetes. That's great. Yeah, that is a being a cook or a baker or that's a really a noble career because we all need to eat here, and having great food to eat is wonderful. And all right. So you don't have a, but it's not really a family history of it. It's actually, it has more to do with, it has a lot to do with how much sugar you consume in your life, and um, in processed foods and sugars. It's more it's more how closely your diet resembles an American's diet. So the less your diet resembles an American's diet, the the less likely you are of developing diabetes. And but the more your diet is like an American's diet, the more likely you are of developing diabetes. Does that make sense? It's the American diet which is is toxic. Yeah. The birds are just chattering right outside my window. Hmm. Different shades all the way around. That's okay. Oh, so you can hear the chirping. Good. There's also a hot rod going up the road too. Earlier, somebody was cutting grass in the field right behind my house. I'm getting close to, it's drying out, and have to be careful because fire season is rapidly approaching. Yeah, and I live in the mountains too. I live in the mountains and near the coast, but it's still they burned about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I think. Okay, I want to use more of my paint up here. So yeah, last thing we want is there wasn't too far from where I live where a whole town burned down. Actually, a couple whole towns is burnt down. One of the last things I'd like to do in a painting section is just to use up all my paint if possible. I don't like my paint to go to waste, and so I'm just gonna do that right here. Yeah, lots of trees around here. I mean, well, paint is dried up. It's on the back side, and so it's fine on the back side. Add some elasticity to the. Oh, I see. Only there in your part of the world. Hmm. So did you have trouble learning the language when you moved from UK to Spain, Sam? Oh yeah. Yeah, that is the problem with our world, isn't it? So many things are just in danger of extinction. Oh, you was born in Spain, so you didn't have any trouble learning the language then, yeah. And so your folks didn't have any trouble learning the language either, so it wasn't like. So you're an English as a second language person, not Spanish as a second language person. Hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't speak any other languages. I did long time ago. I studied biblical Hebrew when I was in college and working on I was studying Bible, religious studies, and so forth. Spanglish, I see. Yeah. Yeah. And I am, except for that brown, which I'm not going to add any of the brown on this, but I'm get all the paint used up. I hope I didn't get any much on the other side. I probably did, but anyways. I am going to call it an afternoon. I have to attend to some duties, and tomorrow is a holiday, an American holiday, and I have some company coming over tomorrow, so I do have to prepare for that. Thank you very much, Sam, for hanging out with me today. And yeah, go check out my channel. And in a couple hours, I have this horror comedy coming out. It's about 15 seconds long. I do some comedy. And I think I did that brush too. Yeah. And thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciated that. And I appreciate your support. And for everybody else that has tuned in here today, thank you very much. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video if you made it, and if you're watching this on the playback, thank you very much. And I will be back the next time, probably Saturday night, Sunday morning, with another video of some kind. I'm not quite sure what I'll do right now, we're coming into a holiday, and 4th of July is tomorrow. And I'm going to do poetry on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then that's it for now. Thank you very much. And have a great afternoon. I am Random Guy, and this is 999 ASMR Tarot. Eventually I will be doing more tarot, but these days I've just been doing mostly a lot of art and poetry. So on Sunday, I will be writing poetry using tarot as my prompts. And so that's it for today. Good day to you, and thank you very much for tuning in. Bye-bye.